U.S. officials confirmed the shoot-down of several Iranian attack drones, as well as an attack on a ground control station, even as the president cites progress to end the war.
Thank you very much. We have a lot of very happy people around the table because we're a great team.
The president, with another freewheeling cabinet meeting, saying Iran wants a deal.
And if they won't, then the man on my left is going to finish them off.
The man on his left, War Secretary Pete Hegseth. But the president also with a new threat to Oman, with reports that Iran wants to jointly control access to the Strait of Hormuz with that country.
Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up.
At the same time, economic and political pressures are mounting here at home, something Iran knows well.
I'm sure the Russians and the Chinese are giving them behind-the-scenes accounts from their own intelligence reporting on the extent to which the United States is deeply concerned.
The president dismissed political concerns.
They thought they were going to outweight me. You know, we'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Look what happened last night.
That was a reference to the victory of his preferred candidate in a Texas Senate primary runoff race. But the midterms will be a different challenge.
This president is a political animal. Of course he cares about the midterms. Of course he's thinking about the midterms. My sense was in that comment he was saying to the Iranians, don't think that you have me over the barrel here because I'm not going to be pressured.
Still, those pressures are real, and they are a growing concern for Republicans here on Capitol Hill with those midterms bearing down. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Everybody remain calm.
The Department of Homeland Security sending a stern warning to sanctuary cities after the latest protests outside an ICE facility in New Jersey. DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin renewed a threat to block international travel into cities that aren't cooperating with ICE.
They're barricading our employees from coming in and out of the facility. Then why are we processing international flights into the airport there?
Protests continued Tuesday in New Jersey at Delaney Hall after a reported hunger strike over rotting food.
A detainee handed me a carton of milk, and I looked at it and it was just congealed solid. I mean, it was absolutely disgusting.
Mullin says the hunger strike claims are exaggerated.
There was only a handful of individuals that was refusing to eat because they want their ethnic group or their ethnic right food. Well, they can go back to their country and get whatever food they want. The fact is, we're giving them the calories they want. This isn't Holiday Inn.
The threat to shut down some international travel has captured the attention of the travel industry, especially right before the World Cup.
We have people from around the world and around the country that need to be able to fly into all different kinds of places. We shouldn't shut down air travel in a state that doesn't agree with our politics.
And millions of foreign tourists are set to arrive next month as the games kick off. In New York, Caroline Elliott, Fox News.
USA! Tonight, final security preparations in the U.S. are underway for the FIFA World Cup. Preparations, the months-long DHS shutdown hampered significantly.
It put our mission in jeopardy. Now, can we still deliver? Yes. Were we able to be as proactive? No. Absolutely not.
Customs and Border Protection, the agency tasked with processing the expected influx of millions of global travelers, remains unfunded, operating only on limited money from the One Big Beautiful Bill. And TSA, which had 8% of its workforce quit during the shutdown, needs 6 months to train new hires and deploy them to airports. But security logistics aren't the top concern for some Democrats. New Jersey Congresswoman Nellie Poe introduced the Save the World Cup Act, a bill that would ban ICE from conducting civil immigration enforcement within 1 mile of FIFA matches or festivities. In a statement, she says, quote, "When I recently asked the head of ICE directly for a simple assurance that they would stay away from the games, he refused. That is unacceptable, so my legislation draws a firm line on the pitch. No ICE raids." It was announced Tuesday that the National Mall will be a fan viewing zone for the World Cup, with live match viewing and interactive exhibits. And during today's cabinet meeting, President Trump said the National Guard is in Washington to stay.
We have the National Guard, and we're going to keep them. Okay?
We're going to surge this summer, too.
The Justice Department has opened an investigation into whether E. Jean Carroll, who accused President Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her 30 years ago, lied during the course of civil litigation against him. That's according to a person familiar with the matter who was not authorized to publicly discuss the ongoing inquiry. The longtime advice columnist accused the president of sexually assaulting her in a Manhattan department store 30 years ago. A jury in 2023 found Trump liable for sexual abuse and awarded her $5 million. The following year, another jury awarded Carroll $83.3 million in a defamation case related to Trump's social media attacks on her. The perjury investigation is being led by the federal prosecutor's office in Chicago. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has no involvement because of his prior work as Trump's personal attorney. It's the latest in a series of investigations the Justice Department has opened into perceived adversaries of the president, including an indictment last month against former FBI Director James Comey. The actions have raised alarms from Democrats and former officials that an institution meant to make prosecutorial decisions independent of the White House is being weaponized.
The Chattahoochee River can get crowded in the summer as Metro Atlanta looks for a place to boat or swim, but
all through Metro Atlanta right now, it's a good idea to probably stay out of the river for now.
The Chattahoochee Riverkeeper keeps a check on the health of the river. They say E. coli levels have spiked.
E. coli levels have increased due to heavy rain events. Anything that's on the ground, it'll get swept up and put into the river, and that causes increases in E. coli levels.
Right now, the count sits at 1,700 colony counts per 100 milliliters of water. To put that into perspective, the healthy range is below 235.
So E. coli is bacteria that's in the guts of warm-blooded animals, and it's the best indicator that we have right now of sewage contamination in fresh water.
Some strains of the bacteria can make you sick, and symptoms include stomach cramps or pain and vomiting. It's certainly not fun, and that's why officials are encouraging you to be aware and try to stay off the water for now.
People want to get out on the river, get wet, have fun, but we always tell people if the river is high and muddy and if there's been a recent rain event that you want to use caution when contacting the water.
The Goldfield Recreation Area in East Mesa tells the story without words. Bone-dry brush, climbing temperatures, and not a drop of rain in sight. Mesa City leaders released this video from last summer as a reminder of what consumer fireworks can trigger. Firefighters managed to knock down this palm tree fire before it reached any homes, but it sure was close.
It's a 365-day-a-year thing for me.
Jason Colt has been in the fireworks business long enough to know where things go wrong. He tells customers to keep it simple, stick to the pavement in front of your house, and stay away from dry vegetation. Keep your distance from the yard, too. Colt welcomes responsible use, but pushes back on Phoenix's new ordinance, which creates buffer zones around parks and nature preserves and gives officers the authority to confiscate illegal fireworks on the spot. The city council passed it unanimously.
I just want people to use them responsibly and not do anything stupid with them, because I don't like to give the government ammunition to use against us later.
In some Mesa neighborhoods, like Las Sendas, fireworks are banned outright. Private security can issue fines on the spot, according to Mesa Fire.
It's not worth it.
Mesa Fire Inspector Tyson Matheny knows the danger is never theoretical. It's real.
They can happen anywhere at any moment. We don't plan for them. We try to prevent them.
Senators again took up debate at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, and by 2 o'clock, the fight was over, with 12 Republicans joining Democrats to kill the bill's chances of passing. Two staunch Republicans, Senator Tom Davis and Senator Richard Cash, voting no on the bill. Cash saying he's cast at least 5 votes to move the bill forward, but he says debate continuing as Tuesday's early voting began changed his mind.
South Carolina citizens are going to the polls today. And neither my conscience nor my common sense will allow me to stop an election that is already underway.
I don't know how anybody with a straight face in this chamber can vote for a map with that absence of diligence. I really don't.
According to the Election Commission, over 32,000 people had already cast their ballots in early voting by 1 p.m., that number growing to over 55,000 by 5 p.m. Senate Majority Leader Shane Massey, who opposed the bill from the beginning, recently citing mistakes in the new map, saying it included precincts that no longer even existed.
It was pretty clear to me where this was probably going to head.
Massey saying, however, he does not consider the decision a rebuke on President Trump, who called for South Carolina to redistrict.
The fact that people are lining up to vote today and they're going to have a bigger number tomorrow, All those things, I think, were really weighing heavy on a number of Republican senators. This was not intended, from my observation, it was not intended as a rebuke to the president of the White House at all.
Governor Henry McMaster weighing in on the decision, saying in part, quote, "I am confident that one day South Carolina's congressional delegation will be completely Republican. I'm disappointed that day has not yet come." Senate Democrats holding a press conference following the decision.
This did not happen because of us. It happened because of you. It happened because the voters of South Carolina said, I want my voice to be heard.
If you go back anywhere back in history, we're just generally not a state that gets pushed around by Washington, and this is yet another example of that.
Senators Dion Tedder and Russell Ott say they believe the decision is a win for South Carolinians.
To every South Carolinian that woke up this morning, that stood in line, that cast their ballot on the first day of early voting, to tell them and reassure them that their voice matters and their vote counts.
It's a message that, you know, South Carolina is going to continue to make decisions for South Carolina. And that's what I'm very proud of. I'm very proud that we did that in a bipartisan way today.
Early voting will continue through June 5th, and primaries are still set for June 9th.
Votant 254, exprimé 254, majorité 128 pour 254, contre 0. L'Assemblée nationale a adopté.
France's National Assembly has examined a bill to finally repeal the Code Noir or Black Code, the 1685 royal decree issued under King Louis XIV that governed slavery in the French colonies. The edict classified enslaved people as movable property and imposed brutal punishments, including mutilation and even death for escape. Well, slavery was abolished in 1848, but the Code Noir was never formally erased from French law, and now the Guadeloupe lawmaker who sponsored this bill says he did not even know it still existed. Max Mathiesen says repealing it is a way of restoring our ancestors, restoring our humanity, and of making France live up to its Republican promise of liberty, equality, and fraternity. France ran the world's third largest slave trade, shipping about 1.4 million Africans to its colonies. But in an address on the issue last week, President Emmanuel Macron stopped short of an apology. Instead, he called the silence around the Code Noir a form of offense, though the bill does not address reparations.
Meta rolling out new subscription plans for Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, along with allowing users more access to Meta AI. These Plus subscriptions run you $3.99 for Facebook and Instagram, $2.99 for WhatsApp, all including enhanced features and better tools for creators. The company also offering more access to its AI chatbot. That's $7.99 for the basic tier, $19.99 for premium. Best Buy, selling more gaming and computer systems and cell phones. Its profit topped expectations as sales improved, rising 2%, though appliance sales declined. Dollar Tree's profit rose in recent months, sales going up, and its customers were spending more per visit. Dollar Tree says it has been updating stores and has a partnership with DoorDash. And May is National Moving Month. A new report from Pods Moving and Storage reveals this year's biggest moving trends. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Wilmington, North Carolina remain in the top spot for the most move-ins, while Dallas-Fort Worth jumped to the number 3 spot, and the California exodus continues as Los Angeles remains the number 1 city with the most move-outs. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Graduating college is a major milestone, setting students up for success as they enter the real world. But many are struggling to find a job.
They've spent the last 4 years learning how to get that first job. Something seems to have broken down here now.
Derek Thompson is the host of the Plain English podcast, which explores issues around technology, the economy, and culture. The March unemployment rate among young college graduates ages 22 to 27 was 5.6%. That's 33% higher than the unemployment rate among all workers, according to the New York Federal Reserve.
For the first time on record, young college graduates now have a higher unemployment rate than the general population.
Thompson says the decline in graduate employment began in 2022, which is also the year ChatGPT was released. But he says there are factors other than AI contributing to these low numbers.
What you've seen since 2022 is that the overall hiring rate in this country has gone down, down, down.
Recent data from hiring site ZipRecruiter found the number of entry-level job openings has decreased in the last 3 years. Yet the demand for entry-level jobs remains high, which means there's more competition to land one of those openings.
It's kind of like the economy is a full house, right? Young people can't come in to the house, like the doors are locked, but everyone in the house, everyone who's older than 25, 30, they overwhelmingly have a job.
But it's not all bad news. ZipRecruiter also found that more recent graduates are landing a job within 3 months of graduating. When it comes to hiring, healthcare leads the way in openings, followed by engineering, computer science, architecture and urban planning, and finance, according to ZipRecruiter. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan. From high gas prices to soaring airfares, travelers are bracing for an expensive summer.
I have a vehicle that takes premium gas only, and I'm not driving it very often now.
As of Sunday, the national average for a gallon of regular gas was $4.51, according to AAA. Before the war with Iran, the average was $2.98. That's more than a 50% increase in less than 3 months. And drivers hitting the road on Memorial Day weekend should expect prices to remain high.
We're paying well over what we were this time last year.
AAA spokesperson Aixa Diaz says the pain at the pump isn't stopping people from traveling, though. AAA estimates a record 45 million people will travel 50 miles or more between this upcoming Thursday through Memorial Day on the 25th. And experts warn high prices will likely continue until the war with Iran is over.
Once we see a little bit more clarity in the timing and the scope of any agreement, oil prices would likely start going down noticeably.
Iran's hold on traffic through the Strait of Hormuz is keeping supplies lower than normal. Normally, 20% of the world's oil supply travels through this key waterway, and a deal to end the war appears far off between the U.S. and Iran. When asked about the negotiations recently, President Donald Trump said this.
They have fully agreed no nuclear, and if they have any nuclear of any form, I don't read the rest of their letter.
Many experts say if the strait remains closed through the start of the summer, gas prices could be even higher by July 4th. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
You can find them in stores and online. Supplements ranging from vitamins to minerals like calcium seem to be surging in popularity.
I think people are using more supplements nowadays.
Integrative medicine specialist Dr. Yu Fang Lin with the Cleveland Clinic says people use supplements for a variety of reasons, including vitamin C when they're sick, omega-3 and ginger for inflammation, magnesium for sleep, collagen for anti-aging, and protein powder for fitness goals.
With the rise of social media and influencers pushing or advertising supplements, there's also increasing use because of those.
Lynn says a vitamin supplement may be okay for some, including those who have diet deficiencies, anyone with trouble absorbing or digesting food, those with a history of intestinal or stomach surgery, or if a person is low in vitamin D, especially in winter months.
However, excess supplements can be toxic to the body as well and can be a burden.
Supplements aren't regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, and Lynn says taking too many can take a toll on the body, especially the kidney and liver. Some can also interfere with medications. So before using a supplement, she says to consider whether it's safe and necessary. If you do take them, she says to monitor whether you're seeing benefits.
They need to be taken with the same consideration you would have when you're taking a medication.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
How will disclosure change us? I believe for the better. It will remind us of our capacity for empathy, and that there is something bigger out there than just ourselves.
Director Steven Spielberg has something to say in the final trailer for his new film, Disclosure Day. The sci-fi thriller based on a story by Spielberg opens in theaters June 12th. Ted Danson is staying busy. The Emmy-winning actor has joined the cast of a new show for Apple TV. He'll play a sexually active senior in the comedy series, with Elizabeth Banks starring as his newly divorced daughter. Banks is also an executive producer on the show.
It is a bad
Oh, yeah, no, it's...
Or there's the couch.
Yeah, oh, maybe
That is where he died, though, so...
Wow,
it's up to
okay.
you.
No, that's...
I'll get sheets.
Thanks.
Miss You, Love You writer-director Jim Rash couldn't be happier with his stars Allison Janney and Andrew Reynolds.
Allison I will chase to everything because I've known her for years, and from way, way back, you know, to whatever, it's like if she's available, yes, please. And Andrew, although I hadn't met him, you know, now he'll be that for me.
Take your victory lap quickly.
Miss You, Love You debuts Friday on HBO Max. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
It's gotta be hot. No, I know.
Every mystery forms a complex web. But pull the right strand, and it's a straight line to the answer.
There is nothing wrong with your screen. This is one way to watch Spider Noir. The streaming series gives viewers the choice to watch in the classic noir style of black and white or in a stylized color format.
Wouldn't it be great if we could take this wealth of American cinema, these old noir movies and that Howard Hawks repartee and that fast-paced dialogue, and collide it with a huge contemporary icon like Spider-Man and then put it on TV?
Technologically, it's been embraced where this is what we wanted to do. So we shot it for black and white with black and white imagery, all the noir techniques. You know, Darren Tiernan was using hand-cranked cameras for some of the special shots and stuff like that. It was huge homage to noir.
What happened to your face?
I walked into a door.
It was extremely difficult because it wasn't just shot in color and then later changed color graded at all. Everything, the designs, the costumes, the set design, the colors on our makeup.
Viewers wondering about homework to prepare for the show needn't worry.
I love Spider-Man. I love film noir. I wanted to tell a story that was its own thing, lives in its own place. And there's a reason that the first words out of Ben Reilly's mouth in this show is, you know, someone once asked me what universe this was. It's its own universe. It's the only one he's ever known. It's the only one he ever will know.
The people could use a hero.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
A traffic stop is going mega viral for the uncomfortable interaction after a Florida sheriff's deputy accuses a woman of holding a phone while driving.
You drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
Obviously not. So you want to just call this a day? Or?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand manipulating the phone.
You just said my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You
so
had a hand out.
The woman involved, Katie, who notes she's an adaptive athlete influencer, posted the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office body cam on Instagram and TikTok, where it's since garnered millions of likes and generated headlines across the internet. In the video, Katie shows she doesn't have a right hand. The deputy doubles down.
I'm asking you now, did you or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
Hand to God, you didn't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Despite the presented evidence, court records show Katie was given a $116 citation, but it was later dismissed at the request of the deputy involved. Moving on, check out this caught-on-camera close call as a lost tire flies across a Colorado interstate, narrowly missing a patrol car. On video, you see the tire slide off the truck, rolling to the left down I-25 while sparks spit out from the damaged vehicle. Then, the tire hits a guardrail, sending it shooting back across the road. Incredibly, the wayward object didn't hit any cars and everyone was okay. This happened in March, but Colorado State Patrol just released the close call to remind drivers to check their cars before heading out on summer road trips. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
I was stunned and I was shocked.
Stunned and shocked is the common feeling among race fans that show up here at Richard Childress Racing. Folks from all over the country are making a side trip here to welcome after leaving race weekend in Charlotte to pay their respects.
I mean, he just never gave up adversity. He'd fight through it. I mean, he was a winner. A winner. And the race wasn't the same without him.
Flowers, cards, and M&Ms line the sidewalk in front of the museum. One handwritten card from a fan in Virginia Beach said, "Number 8 on the track, number 1 in our hearts."
Just gonna miss him. You know, he's one of those racers that is generational. I don't know if you'll ever see someone that's as good as he is ever again. We're gonna miss him.
It was unreal, you know, he was like Kobe Bryant to NASCAR, you know what I'm saying? Like very sudden
You know, like how big Michael Jackson's death was. Like, it's just, you know, we just got to cherish each other. That's all. Because anything can happen at any moment.
Bush was one of the more polarizing figures in the sport, but even if you weren't one of his fans, everyone respected him.
I was not a Kyle Busch fan. I was a Jeff Gordon fan. But I always respected Kyle for his tenacity, his hard work, his dedication to the sport.
Fans are not only leaving gifts, but swapping stories and spending time together. They say it helps with the healing process.
Because we're such a small community that we're always going to be here for each other. We're always going to support everyone that needs us and, you know, back everyone.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush, fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True crime warrior style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
There's more to Fox 54 Plus with the Locked On Podcast Network. From the Tide to the Tigers, from college teams to pro, the Locked On Podcast Network gives you insights and analysis you just can't find anywhere else.
These kids, they want to play.
But I don't think so. I think it was Chad Baker-Mazzara.
Locked On Sports, streaming every day of the week and right here on Fox 54 Plus.
This is what he's going to tell you.
He's trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir. The only thing they could do was kill him.
Be the jury and to find the defendant